Hello, all my Taurus friends. This is Maxine Taylor with your astrological report for May 2020. And before I jump into that, I got to show you something that I'm really happy about. It's an update of the first book I ever wrote many years ago called Now That I've Cast It, What Do I Do With It? The title comes from what my students asked me, because back then in the 1960s, there were no computers. And so we all had to learn how to cast the chart by hand, which was a project. And when we were finished, they would say, okay, now that I cast it, what do I do with it? And so this book is the basic astrology, the simplified astrology that many, many people need and use all the time, because I make it very simple to interpret a chart. This is the proof. I've included, and it's an updated book. I've included more information on the North and South Node in this particular book. So I hope you enjoy it. And if you pair it with the hidden messages in your birth chart, you will have two books that will help you not only interpret the chart, but really give insight to it, because this is the book that shows you your parental programming. And this will blow your clients out of the water when you tell them all about their programming. You will have credibility because you have insight into what their foundation is about. And if you do it with love, without judgment, man, you'll be their astrologer for a long time, because they're going to love you. All right. Now, Taurus, look at this fabulous forecast. Much better. Let's start with Mars, passion, the red planet. Wherever Mars is, that is what you fight with and fight for. It's in your 11th house of friends and group activities. And so you may be throwing yourself into your friendships, or throwing yourself at your friends, depending on the friend. On the 24th, Mars moves into the 12th house of the subconscious. And so you may find that you have anger that you're unaware of. Just know that it's sitting there to be channeled directly. And what I would do is work behind the scenes, because that's the 12th house of behind the scenes activities. And so alert your friends that you're going to be working behind the scenes for a while, but you still love them. And speaking of love, look at Venus, the pink planet. Wherever it is what you love. And it's in your 11th house now, of friends, hopes, wishes, group activities. How lovely. On the 2nd of the month, like in 2 days, it moves into your 12th house. And you're really going to enjoy your solitude and privacy, whether it's because you want to keep your love life to yourself, or you just want to be by yourself, and that's cool. On the 28th, Venus enters your 1st house. Now, the 1st house is the most personal point in the chart. It is you. And so when Venus is in your 1st house, especially when it's close to the ascendant, you love you. And when you love you, the world loves you. Notice it. Notice it. Okay, next to Venus is the sun, the giver of life, the yellow planet. The sun is the center of our chart, the center of our life. And it's in your 1st house because, by the way, happy birthday, Taurus, because you are able to, this is your turn to do what you want, when you want, how you want, because of you want. And so the center of your life is you, after all. It's your birthday. And I suggest you celebrate for at least a couple of weeks. Celebrate even, let's say you're born in late Taurus. The minute the sun enters Taurus, you're going to feel it. So whenever the sun enters Taurus, start partying, start celebrating. If your friends want to celebrate your birthday a week ahead, go for it. Now, on the 20th, the sun, the giver of life, enters your second house of money. This is your natural house in the natural zodiac, and you can create money because the center of your life is amassing things. You'll probably enjoy the gifts that you receive. I hope so. And this is a time when you can really create money. Now, Mercury is the blue planet, and Mercury is going to go retrograde on the 10th. It's in the shadow of the retrograde before then. And right now, it's in the shadow. And it feels like Mercury is retrograde. It's not, but it feels like it is. Treat it as if it is, because things are so confused, as they are when Mercury goes retrograde, that even though you can start a new project under the shadow, when Mercury's in the shadow of the retrograde, it's hard to do it because of all the confusion. On the 10th, when Mercury goes retrograde, you don't start new projects. You tie up the loose ends of unfinished projects, okay? Mercury's going to go direct early June. We'll talk about that next month in June. And it immediately enters the shadow of the retrograde. I always take the second shadow. In other words, we've got a shadow before it goes retrograde and a shadow after it comes out of retrograde. Mercury will come out of retrograde, of course, in June, and will be in the shadow for a couple of weeks. This is a golden opportunity to tie up those loose ends you didn't get to when it was retrograde. Okay, now we have a full moon on May 16th. It's in 25 Scorpio. Look at your birth chart and see what you've got anywhere from 20 Scorpio to 0 of Sagittarius, because this is not just a full moon, it's a lunar eclipse. And if you have an eclipse on your sun, moon, or ascendant, it's a new life eclipse for you. Bravo. Okay, it's on May 16th, again in 25 Scorpio. 2 weeks later, we have a new moon in 9 degrees Gemini. It's on the 30th of Gemini, 30th of May, excuse me. All right, what I just did was a perfect example of Mercury in the shadow. It acts just like it's retro. Joy, I know. Anyhow, the new moon triggers your money. Because that's where the energy starts moving. And so the sun enters your second house, as I said, on the 20th. And on the 30th, the new moon really kicks it. So happy birthday, happy May. And join me next month when once again, I take a look at your personal forecast for that month. It'll be June. So till then, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. Bye for now.